Guys, it's Gina Brogan. Whoop whoop boo boo. Whoopity boo. Guess what I'm doing? It is January 8th. And I am just now getting around to my habit tracker. Never fear. That's okay because the reason is my old journal, I'm just starting a new journal. And my old journal was actually kind of it wasn't as long. I don't have like the same size journals every day. And so it wasn't as long, and I knew that I was coming to the end of it, so I wanted to start out with a new journal and a new habit tracker that could take the whole month. So, and I remember my habits. However, there are a few that I'm going to take that are outside of my comfort zone and stretch myself. So I do want to include those in my habit tracker to make sure that I see to them every day, or at least can watch my trends throughout the month. But anyway, I didn't come here to talk about habit trackers. I came here to talk to you about what it feels like. You can feel the difference. Hold on, can I just get my hair to where it's not irritating me to look at? Okay, I don't know. See, this is what bothers me, and this is where the gray roots show up the first. And there's something about my part that I don't like. So, because I'm surrounded by people out there in Facebook land who love me and adore me and support me and are unconditionally like my favorite people, I get to do that. I get to be fully me. This is what I want for you. And I want you to start paying attention to how you feel when you're around certain people, when you're in certain circles, when you are in certain, scrolling through your social media or in any area of your life where you feel that you are either expanding more into the fullness of who you are, or if you're contracting and going, oh my gosh, what do they think of me? I better be small, I better be quiet, I better not really be me, because they will not like me, or they will make me feel more of this contracted energy. So I want you to start paying attention to that. How do you feel in different circles? How do you feel? What are those messages you tell yourself? When you are fully supported and you're surrounded by people who love you, who speak your language, who get you, you are going to feel expansive, and you're going to fill up to your fullest and highest potential. And that is how people really do move into their next level, because they start allowing more of who they truly are to be. And you're not hiding yourself, you're not questioning yourself, you're not second guessing yourself, you're being yourself, which is a radical departure from how most people are. For example, if I had wanted to demonstrate to you how to do a perfect live stream and how to perfectly polish and pitch my whatever I'm saying to you, I would not have dared to play with my hair. I would not have dared to tumble over any words. I wouldn't dare to do any of the things that you're afraid to do, to not be perfect. I teach confidence, you guys. I teach people how to move aside those fears that show up, to recognize them. Like, what are those fears that are showing up for you that are keeping you from actually being you? When you get to allow yourself to be you, who you truly are here to be, then you will feel expansive. Now, I'm going to be teaching more on this, but I want you to start thinking about it for yourself. If I were fully giving myself permission to be the biggest and best version of me, what would I be doing differently right now? I'm going to share this. Say hello if you're on here. I'm going to share it to my page. And I think I'm supposed to do it the other way. Who would you really allow yourself? Like, this is something I'm going to be doing when I have a VA. I'm going to go live, and my VA is going to do the work in the background. And then I'm going to, everything, if you're starting a business, by the way, if you're building something and you know that someday when you get to that point where you're not going to have to do all the things and you're going to hire people to do things for you, one of the greatest tips I ever learned from one of my coaches was, and I wouldn't recommend doing this on a piece of paper in your journal, I would recommend doing this in a Google Doc, because that stays with you forever across platforms and across technology devices, not platforms, sorry, devices. But I strongly recommend you make a list of everything you do not enjoy doing in your business as you're building it, okay? So like I have a whole list of things that are not my favorite things to do in my business, but I'm doing them. I'm not such a diva, I won't do them, but some of the things I do try to, get out of. And that becomes your first assistant's job description. So if you are going to hire a virtual assistant, if you're somebody who is building an online brand and you're going to eventually hire an assistant, well, you're building that person's job description when you go about your business of building your business and you list out all the things that you don't enjoy doing. Then that gets to be the things that they do and allows you more room and space and time and energy to be doing exactly what you're here to do. That is, for example, if you are the talent, right? Hold on, who would you really allow yourself to be? I'm doing my assistant's job right now, which is why if you could just hold for one moment, please, I will type this out. To be surrounded by people, unconditional love. I'm going to just shorten it. So now, because you unconditionally love me, you're going to allow me this time to do that. And you will be patient while I do so. I could just stop now. I think I've given you enough information. Not really. Not related to the topic at hand. The topic at hand is, who would you actually be? How would you show up in your life, in every single day of your life, if you were fully and completely supported unconditionally, whether it's by yourself or by the people around you, and you did not second guess yourself all the time? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you in on something that used to happen to me all the time. It still happens because I'm still me, but I'm peeling away the layers of doubt and fear and shame and unworthiness and all the business that used to hold me back. So here is a very clear-cut example of how I used to feel so nervous about driving. My ex-husband, whenever I would be driving, which wasn't very often, but it was sometimes, he would make me so nervous, so anxious about, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. I'm not going fast enough. I'm not tailgating that guy in front of us close enough, because he always wanted to be right up on those people so that nobody could get in with, oh my God. Can you feel the anxiety coming up in my body right now? It was such a highly, highly anxious experience for me, being the driver when my husband was in the car, because he was always criticizing, second guessing, and telling me how to do the job of driving. It was so nerve-wracking, you guys. And I began to not trust myself. I would be so afraid. Can I change lanes? Should I turn on my blinker? Should I be going faster? And if you are living in an environment or working in an environment or, in any way, shape, or form, surrounding yourself by people who second guess you or who keep you second guessing your own self because you're afraid to be your actual self, I want you to look at this, and I want you to start changing your environment. And I want you to also start to change the relationship with you. That's where it all begins. So you get to start to look at this. I'm going to have some water right now. Sorry for the super up close. Look at my water. Okay, this is my water situation. I'm drinking lots of it. Okay. That's my water glass, and that's my water bottle. I drink 3 of those bottles a day. I think my aunt is home. Let me find out. Oh, she is. Isn't that a cool door? She is home. They went to lunch and invited me, but I didn't go because I had work to do. I really had to do this work. Anyway, enough of the segues. when you are surrounded and you really notice, if you start to notice people who you're friends with or acquaintances with that diminish and contract your energy, one, or make you second guess yourself, or keep you from actually fully expressing who you are and what is true for you out of fear. If you are fearful of being yelled at, ridiculed, neglected, abused, punished, alienated, teased, made fun of, any of those things, if any of those things happen to you, especially in your close relationships, I really want you to take a look at it and start to support yourself. Start to give yourself the unconditional love and acceptance that you truly desire. And as you do that, what happens is you will start to stand up for yourself more around those people, in those circles. You will notice that you get to be more of who you are. So, I'm going to be teaching more of this. And now I'm going to say goodbye. But I want you to journal out. When I'm around people who fully love and unconditionally love and accept me, hi, speaking of one, who am I? And start to notice who you are and who you get to be, who you allow yourself to be, and who you want to be, because that person, that version of you is calling you forth. So that's the one thing I want you to write down and answer that question. Who would I really be if I allowed myself to be fully me? And moved away all of those places in my life where I'm second guessing myself, looking over my shoulder, dimming my light, turning down the volume on myself, or hiding my opinion, or abandoning myself by actually supporting opinions and values of people who I don't believe, I don't share those values and opinions. These are the golden nuggets of your evolution. So do this work, write out those answers, and message me if you want help in this area. This is one of my areas of expertise. This is what I love to teach people. And the breakthroughs, the evolution will blow your mind when you start cutting out those relationships or standing up for yourself and connecting with that version of you who does not put up with and tolerate those kinds of relationships anymore. When you step into that version of you, those relationships disappear by magic, okay? They disappear because you are no longer an energetic match for that behavior. You are stepping into the fullness of you, which is your evolution. That is your job. That is your job. That is your job. That is your job. That is your contribution to the collective consciousness evolution of our planet. We are experiencing a massive evolution right now of our collective consciousness. The collective, right? That's everybody. That's the whole energy field of the globe. It is raising right now because people are doing the work, and they're no longer allowing that abuse. They're no longer allowing themselves to be contracted in their energy. They're allowing their energy to expand into their fullness. And this is what your job is. This is my job to teach you. I am your evolution Sherpa. So do that homework. Message me or comment here in the thread if you have any questions whatsoever. This work will change your life, I promise you. Bye.